Hey there, my name's Aaron, and over the past 7 years, I've been testing hundreds of the world's best totes. And every year I update my list of my absolute favorites, of which these ones made the cut. In this video, I'm gonna run you through why these totes are so awesome, what their different unique selling points are so you can find the best one for you. And the best part of all is that most of the totes we're gonna talk about in this review have their own in-depth individual review, which you can find linked in the description below. Oh, and if you're overwhelmed by all the options and you don't know which one to pick, be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'll give you my top picks of all time. Now, before we get into the actual list, let me give you a quick run through of my perspective of totes and some buyer's guide tips that I think will help you on your journey for finding the tote that best suits your needs. And I think it's important to say right away, you don't need to spend 150 bucks on a tote. You just don't. Like your average tote that you get at IKEA, which you can find on Taobao or Amazon, they probably work pretty well. A tote is significantly less complicated than a backpack is when it comes to sewing and construction and durability. And I know this because I actually just sewed my own tote myself. I actually joined a class for this recently. Shout out to Canvas Worker in California. More details about them in the description if you wanna go to their class and sew your own tote. But it really opened my eyes for really the simplicity of a tote. And it's actually the beauty of a tote. But there's not as much sewing going on here, right? You just kind of get the handles sewn on, you get the binding around the perimeter, maybe a bit of internal organization, but at the end of the day, it's a fairly simple product. And the less expensive ones, they perform really well, right? You put it on your shoulder, you put stuff in it, it gets you from point A to point B. But having said that, if you want to experience the more premium and possibly luxurious side of life, then let me tell you, you can do a lot better than a market tote. And all the premium totes I'm gonna talk about on this list kind of give you different things. They all have different unique selling points. Some have really comfortable carry handles with really nice padding and a really silky feel to them. Like this one right here is the Alpaka flight tote. Others are gonna give you technical excellence, like the black Ember WPT. WPT stands for waterproof tote, and this thing is, I wouldn't say 100% waterproof. It's not submergible, but it's not too far off. So it's giving you PU-coated zippers, stunning velocity nylon, and a construction that makes sure that water won't get through. And all of these totes that we're gonna talk about too are a little bit more on the tech-friendly side of things, as all of them have their own tablet and or laptop sleeves. And a lot of the ones we're gonna discuss here are just gorgeous, and they're really gonna make for great work totes. Like the WaterField Shinjuku with its X-Pack canvas exterior, gorgeous gold interior. So I just wanna be honest about what we're talking about here. It's not just like a tote that you can buy groceries with. These are totes that are exceptional to use in their overall user experience. They're gonna give you better comfort, premium materials, impressive tech protection, and oftentimes come with lifetime warranties. And remember, I'm gonna let you know which tote is my favorite at the end of the video. First tote on the list is the Alpaka Elements. Alpaka's origins start in Australia, but now they've scaled up to a global team and they become one of the biggest names in the world of carry. And this is actually one of their earlier products. I think I reviewed this like 3 years ago, and I really love it for its simplicity. And that's, I think, the story of this tote is where you're getting a step up in terms of the user experience, in terms of just like the ness of it all, but without having to pay an arm and a leg for a tote bag that maybe you didn't need to pay an arm and a leg for. All Alpaka's bags use their in-house Axo Flux material. This is a ripstop nylon, super smooth to the touch, very durable, reinforced stitching. We've got a back pocket here and a nice high-vis orange interior that also gives you a fair amount of organization. And one last thing to note about totes in general is how compressible they are, or foldable that they are, because there's gonna be a spectrum in this video. On one side, you're gonna have like the Alpaka Elements, which can literally very easily be folded into itself, compressed down, but it's gonna give you a little bit less comfort and a little bit less protection. But then on the other side, you're gonna have like the Evergoods Civic Daily Tote, where this thing is structured. I mean, yeah, you're not really good, don't bend it, just don't do it. There's built-in padding in this tote, which means it's gonna give you much more tech protection, possibly better self-standing, but then you're gonna lose a little bit of that malleable versatility as well. Now, on the compressibility scale, it's a tote that is very malleable. You can fold it up, but not too much. It's not extremely compressible. It still gives you a little bit of padding. For me, this is a great tote if you're looking for a tote that has some simplicity to it and it doesn't need to do a lot. And I think the Alpaka designers knew that because you'll notice there's no laptop sleeve in here. That's because it's not very well padded, so your laptop wouldn't be super protected. You can put one in the main compartment, don't get me wrong, just slide it in there. But I think this is more of like a daily errands and maybe grocery tote. And I think the best part about it though is the price point. Now this tote currently comes in 3 sizes and a bunch of different color options. And for the price, it only runs around 50 to 70 USD, which will be probably the cheapest tote on this list, full disclosure. And all Alpaka bags do come with a lifetime warranty. Now remember that this tote and many of the other totes we're gonna talk about on this list have their own in-depth reviews. Take it easy on us, some of the reviews are a little bit older, this one included, but all the main points are there. So if you wanna learn more about this tote, be sure to find the full review linked in the description below. Next up on the list, we got the Ogio Rise Everyday Tote. Now, Ogio is a US brand, and they're kind of known for a very particular aesthetic. I'd say it's like within the spectrum of like dads and uncles meets matrix, meets urban, meets tactical. You mash all that together and you have the Ogio brand. But what's interesting about the Rise Everyday Tote is that it's kind of departing from that a little bit. I think the story with this tote is going to be the fabric and the color choices. And I love what they did with the water bottle pockets, where it kind of keeps true to their urban, tactical kind of vibes. It gives the tote a little bit of meanness, a little bit of attitude, while still having a super fresh and clean overall aesthetic. You got a quick access pocket in the front, really soft handles that are very loose and malleable and will really flow with your body. Chunky zippers to get into the main compartment. Bunch of organization in the main compartment that also includes a laptop sleeve right here. And then on the back, we've got a luggage pass-through with a very nifty hidden zippered pocket right here. And you also got a drop pocket right there as well. And that's like a lot of pockets for a tote, but that's kind of what Ogio does best. We actually reviewed one of their backpacks recently and it had 27 distinct pockets on it. So Ogio knows their people. If you like organization, bit of an urban tactical look, but you want it like softened a little bit, I think that's kind of the unique market that this tote finds itself in. It's a very shoulderable tote, it's easy to carry here. And let me tell you, water bottle pockets and totes don't always go together very well. You can see this actually fits my 1-liter Yeti in it. That is actually astonishingly impressive. Very few totes can do this, especially on the outsides. Now, obviously that might be more compromised as the tote is filled up because it will fight for some space in the main compartment. But I think that also these water bottle pockets should be some of the biggest reasons you buy this tote. You got a 1-liter water bottle on one side, 24 ounce on the other. With this tote, you're gonna rise every day being very well hydrated. As of recording, this tote comes in 3 different color options. It's 21 liters in capacity, and it runs around 125 USD. But that does come with a limited lifetime warranty. It should be noted that here at Nomads Nation, we only pick our favorite bags for these roundups, but we do offer a boosted spotlight in some of our videos, which Ogio did pay for in this video. But honestly, this tote is just awesome. We would not showcase it otherwise. And if you want to learn more about it, you can do so with the links in the description below. Next up, we got the Evergoods Civic Daily Tote, or the CDT. And we're taking a bit of a departure now into new tote territory. And that's what Evergoods does best, is new territory, because they are bag innovators, one of the best bag brands in the world. I actually just did a Mount Rushmore. I picked my favorite bag brands of all time, or at least the ones that I thought are most important. And Evergoods actually made that list for me. And it's because they just do things their own way, and they are so wizard-esque in their design. This is a tote that is not gonna be for everyone though. It's a tote that has a lot of structure to it, which is really good if you're looking for a work tote, and especially a tote that does some pretty epic self-standing. This is interesting. The main compartment, it opens via magnets. There are 2 totes on this list that do this. The magnetic connection is very strong, and also gonna offer some pretty impressive weather resistance as well. And you can do this. How cool is that? This is actually very fun. And just, the magnet goes back every time. On the front, you got a quick access pocket with a bunch of internal organization. In the middle, you got a very well padded laptop compartment. This is actually probably gonna be one of the top 2 or 3 totes that I've ever tested in regards to its laptop protection. So if that's important to you, you know what to do. You can see right here, we have internal water bottle pockets, 1 on each side. Got a big old slot pocket in the back panel, and a luggage pass-through holder, making this a great travel companion. Freaking tall handles too, very shoulderable in all of its carry glory. I think this is a very dude-friendly tote in a lot of ways. It's got a little bit of masculinity to it, a little bit of badassness, a little bit of balls, if you will. So for any dudes out there who are looking for their daily office tote that'll protect their laptop, you can put your lunch in here, put a water bottle in there, some tech stuff. and then hauling it to and from the office every single day, I think it's actually a really good option. And as you can see too, one of the rare totes on this list that also self-stands. We got 24 liters capacity, currently comes in 3 colors and material options, and it runs around 200 to 265 USD currently, depending on which material you get. Should be noted this is the 840D ballistic nylon version, which should be Evergoods' most accessible price point. You don't need to spend 260 on the X-Pack version unless you like really want it. I actually like the ballistic nylon version a little bit more. Full review, link below. Next up, we got the Bellroy Tokyo Tote 15 liter, which I think could be the most fashionable, the best looking. I don't know, it's just a tote that kind of slaps from the outside. When you see it, you're like, damn, that thing's hot. That's a good looking tote. But it doesn't compromise functionality on the inside while it's at it. That's what Bellroy does best. Australian-based brand, crushing it in the carry scene, known for kind of their quirky urban style of bags. And this is one of their classics, very highly reviewed. Quick access pocket in the front. And look at this inside, it's just beautiful. It's elevated. It just gives a very pleasurable sort of experience when you're using the bag day in and day out. You got girthy water bottle pockets on either side. Microfiber tablet sleeve. This is definitely not gonna be a tote that works for a laptop, but if you just carry a tablet, you can slide that on in there. It's gonna have some decent protection as well. The fabric is really beautiful, kind of premium, a little bit of sheen to it. It almost feels and looks like a canvas. It's just like heritage meets professional. I think Bellroy did a phenomenal job in the selection of this fabric. And check this out, one thing that I like this is what Bellroy does. You think that you're just dealing with like a fashion brand, but then Bellroy does functional stuff like this, where they put a little bit of rubber grip on the outside, or I'm sorry, on the inside of the tote handles, which means when you're carrying it in shoulder carry mode, it's not gonna be slipping off your shoulder every time. And you think that more totes would do this, but more totes do not do this. In fact, very few totes do. I think Bellroy is one of the few that I've seen that does it. It might wear off over time. Maybe that's why other brands don't do it. I'm not sure, but let me tell you, it just keeps the tote in place. And when you use this tote, you're gonna realize there's a lot of little functional choices like that that Bellroy implements into their bags. It just makes your experience better. A little bit here, a little bit there, but it all adds up. It's got a nice nylon webbing for the handles, and overall it's a very comfortable wear. Should be noted though, on the back, we got nothing going on, no pockets, no luggage pass-through, so it's definitely a tote that's based more on simplicity. The Tokyo Tote currently comes in 2 different sizes, 5 different color options. It runs around 125 to 140 USD depending on what size you get. And all Bellroy bags are covered by their 6-year warranty. We did a full review of this bag a few years back. It should still cover all the points you need to know about it. If you want to watch that review, links below. We got our second Alpaka tote on this list, the only brand that we feature twice. Honestly, Alpaka's crushing it in the world of totes, just bags in general, but like they're putting a lot of effort into totes. And this tote, I liked. This is a tote though that's a little bit more squarish. Your average tote, I feel like, was often very rectangular, very wide. This is a tote that isn't, which is going to, I think, for some people really draw you into it, but also for others, it's gonna mean that you can't carry as much stuff. So always a compromise with every design choice. Love the top handles. This uses a very nice, silky and well padded fabric. Plenty of space to grab via hand and to pop it into shoulder mode. Little slot pocket in the front with a key leash. As you would expect from a flight tote, we got a luggage pass-through holder. I do think if you're looking for a tote to travel with, that this is probably the best option on the list, because it's actually designed for that use case. And with a smaller size, it gets a little limited in the main compartment. It's a little pinchy, as you can see, versus if you had like a wider opening, it would just be easier to get into. But you can see they were still able to fit a laptop compartment in here that has some really nice padding and a bunch of internal pockets as well. And check this out here. You've actually got like a semi-hidden zippered pocket next to the main compartment. And this runs down to here on the bag, just giving you a little extra stash location. This green AxoFlux material is beautiful. And this is a little bit more thicker than their other AxoFluxes, so it gives the tote just a nice texture overall. It can be an everyday carry tote, don't get me wrong, but because of the shape and the size and the user intent, I just think it's gonna be better for anyone looking for a tote to travel with. Currently comes in 3 different sizes, 2 different color options, and it runs around 80 to 100 USD, but that does come with Alpaka's lifetime warranty. Now we just shot this full review pretty recently, which you can find, link below. Next up we got the Orbitkey Daily Tote, which when I reviewed recently, kind of blew me away. It's kind of a functional masterpiece. Orbitkey actually is known for making gear for workers, I'd say. Like people, if you work at a desk and you really like to stay focused and be efficient with your time and you like tech stuff, you're gonna fall in love with Orbitkey. That's kind of like what they do. And the story of this tote is self-standing is pivotal for its design. Same thing with having structure and padding. And all of that's gonna give it a bit of a boxy shape, which not everyone's gonna love. It's not foldable, it's not really malleable, but as a vessel for carrying your stuff and then like putting it on the floor and it stays upright and the handles just kind of pop to the sides like that, like that's what Orbitkey designed this for, to really be your office tote. You bring it to work, it goes next to your desk or on your table, and it's just there, like a desk caddy. It's got a luggage pass-through holder as well as a zippered pocket in the back. The handles get the job done. They're not the most luxurious, but you know, decent grabbing space, shoulder space as well. Drop front pocket. We got an external lash point right here. Metal hardware, gives it a nice little look and feel. Attach your keys onto there, some hand sani. But I think the main compartment is the unique selling point. All the padding in the laptop sleeve right here. This is like a bunker for your laptop. Plus it can zip close, just giving you a little bit extra security. Bunch of organization, internal water bottle holder, really nice high quality power mesh throughout the bag. And then you can take this panel, you zip it into place, and this is also going to assist in the structure of this tote. 'Cause this panel, yeah, it's not very well padded, but overall it just kind of keeps the tote boxy. And it also gives you dual access points from one side for your laptop or the other for the rest of the main compartment. But one thing to note, this is definitely not the most waterproof tote in the world. You can see that when this panel's in place, both sides, very leakable. The Orbitkey tote currently comes in 2 sizes. You got 4 different color options, and it runs up to 120 USD, and that does come with a 2-year warranty. Next up, we got the Black Ember WPT, and WPT stands for Waterproof Tote. And again, this thing is not submergible. Do not take it to a river and then dunk it in the river and be like, why'd the water get through? It's not that kind of waterproof, but it's definitely a tote that you're gonna wanna wear if you're commuting on a daily basis in a rainy location, right? If you're a Seattle tote commuter, this is probably gonna be your best bet on the list. Black Ember is a US-based brand. They're from San Francisco, and they're known for this very dark, urban, and premium look and feel. And this tote is premium throughout. This Velocity nylon is stunning. YKK PU-coated zippers, laser-cut aluminum hardware, ripstop lining for the interior, laser-cut Hypalon. It's just a bag that just gives you all the best. Like if you just want to check high-quality materials throughout a bag, Black Ember is just always checking all those boxes. The tote handles can be repositioned in case you find one position a bit more comfortable than the other. Quick access pocket gives you a little bit of internal organization. All these PU-coated zippers are what's gonna help keep the water out. Also on the sides, and check out these side zippers because they're quite interesting. Never seen a tote do this. You got zippers on each side that give you access into the main compartment, which means you can put your water bottle right here. You've got this mesh keeping it in place. So it's not quite the quickest water bottle access like the Ogio, but if you can just do a quick unzip, grab your water bottle, you're not too far behind in terms of time to access your water. Laptop protection on this thing is pretty stellar. Look at this magnetic closure, very strong. Gonna help keep your laptop in place, well padded on this side. You got a big old stash pocket right here and luggage pass-through holder. This is just a tote for someone who's been saving up for a tote, or you just got disposable income and you're like, dude, it's rainy and I like a tote and I love that thing, so let's go. I'm buying one. Now some quick specs. It's 20 liters in size. It only comes in black and it runs around 225 USD, but that does come with Black Ember's lifetime warranty. Full review of this tote, link below. Next up, we got the Aer Gym Tote 2, and they got a similar aesthetic to Black Ember, and all credit to Aer. Actually, they were here before Black Ember, so maybe you could say Black Ember has an aesthetic similar to Aer. But I'd say Aer is a little bit less serious and dark, while still keeping its techie aesthetic and just next level functionality. And as the name suggests, I think this is probably the best option on the list for anybody who's looking for a gym/work tote. The 1680D ballistic nylon shell is just, it's bomb-proof. Like this fabric is it's incredible. So durable, bit heavy, but it really gets the job done. Quick access pocket in the front. And here's what makes it a gym tote. It's this section right here where you can put your shoes. Now shoe compartments and bags, it's a thing because a lot of people are like, dude, a shoe compartment? That's amazing. I'll put my shoes in there. And then they get really annoyed when their shoes take up all the main compartment. It's like, well, what'd you expect? There's not a lot of space in there and your shoes are quite large. But as long as you don't pack out the main compartment too much, you can definitely do the shoes, plus your tech, plus all your work stuff. I actually really love this opening system. You've got this little loop right here. You can boom, unzip. It gives you really nice access into the main compartment. This though being where your shoes will be, right? This is the shoe compartment. It's filled with air right now and not shoes. So you can push that to the side and you can see this is actually what you have to work with. Really nice tech protection in this tote. We got a microfiber lining on this laptop sleeve. and a secondary sleeve for your tablet as well. Inside water bottle pocket. We also got some drop pockets on the other side as well. No lack of organization with this tote, that's for sure. The handles are not my favorite because I like a little bit of a softer feel on my fabric when it comes to tote handles. These are like very sturdy, but very coarse. And that's just gonna be a personal preference thing. It's not a bad thing, it just depends on what you prefer. But the handles are great, very grabbable, very shoulderable as well. On the back side, you also have a quick access zippered pocket and luggage pass-through mofos. And in Aer's typical fashion, they usually offer this little fold at the bottom of their bags, and that does oftentimes allow them to self-stand pretty well. Again, if you're looking for a gym/work tote, this is probably the best one that I've reviewed. Currently comes in 3 color options. It's 22 liters in size and runs around 130 USD. Full review, link below. Next up, we got the WaterField Shinjuku Business Travel Tote. WaterField is actually our 3rd San Francisco company, 3 in a row. Black Ember, Aer, WaterField. And where Black Ember and Aer though are kind of similar, WaterField takes a very different approach to their bags. They're definitely a lot more on the heritage side of things. But in a heritage way that's not outdated, they modernize their heritage aesthetic, and that's one of the biggest reasons that I love them. It's like old school, but brought into the future. That's WaterField. Talking about fabrics, I fucking love this fabric. This is a canvas X-Pack. The X-Pack, you can see the X's subtly underneath the fabric. That's made by Dimension Polyant, and they make the fabric X-Pack, which is made for sailboats, but sailboat people were like, yo, we could put that on backpacks, and now it's on backpacks. It's a whole story. We actually did a video about the history of X-Pack, which you can learn linked above. But this is a rarer version of X-Pack, and it gives the bag a nice classy aesthetic. You've got real leather accents on the bottom. External pockets. Now, these are not gonna be great for water bottles, unless you got a smaller water bottle, but a really good slot for your umbrella. PU-coated zipper access into the main compartment, and look at how beautiful that interior is. I love WaterField's interior. Metal zipper pulls, and just like Evergoods, we got the magnetic style opening. It's a little bit lighter though than Evergoods, or should I say it's not quite as intense. I think it has pros and cons. I actually think that I prefer WaterField's more. It just has a little bit less padding, which makes the bag more accessible. But as you can see, the magnet still finds its way very easily. The gold interior gives the bag a nice high-vis effect with a bunch of drop pockets and slots. And if you're like, but Aaron, this is called the business work tote and there's no laptop slot in there, riddle me that. To which I would say, yeah, it's a good point, but I think WaterField just knows what this tote is. They didn't want to deck it out with padding. They didn't want it to be something that was a bad experience by their brand's perspective. But remember, with all these totes, they can still fit a laptop in the main compartment. You just want to make sure that it's in a padded laptop sleeve, and then problem solved. Laptop's good to go. We've also got a magnetic pocket in the back, and as you would expect on a travel tote, luggage pass-through holder. I like this tote because you get a little bit of padding, a little bit of structure, but a little bit of malleability as well. It's kind of in that middle zone. We do have some grip on the bottom of the tote handles as well. Great for no shoulder strap slippage. Nice nylon webbing. Overall, it's a very nice tote and a very unique offering. They kind of like heritage meets modern. It's a beautiful bag, it really is. It's 16 liters capacity, currently comes in 4 different color and fabric options, and runs around 250 USD. That does come with a lifetime warranty. Last tote on this list is my favorite tote of all time, or should I say, it's the tote that I use the most. It's the Peak Design Packable tote, and we're going on the opposite end of the spectrum with this bag. And I understand, like, I probably didn't need to include this, but I wanna show y'all tote lovers out there, just like a different option. Because obviously, you're not gonna go to work with this tote, or I wouldn't recommend it if you're carrying a laptop or a tablet. That's what you're gonna use the Black Ember for. But for me, if you're just looking for like a basic tote to kind of get the job done when you're traveling or grabbing groceries, like that's where a packable tote can really shine. And just case in point, I carry this tote around me every single day. So I live in Hong Kong, it's an urban city, I'm walking around, I'm taking public transportation, and I gotta grab groceries. And I got my backpack, it's full, and it's like, I don't wanna use a bag, so I'm trying to be environmentally conscious. I got my tote bag in my backpack, and this tote is great because what you can do is actually fold it into itself. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little annoying to do sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I'll just not do this and just throw it in my bag. But on days where I'm feeling slightly more patient, I will indeed fold the tote into itself and then put this in one of my backpack pockets. And then when I need it, you just undo one of these and say, don't worry, Miss Grocery Lady, I'm an environmentally conscious adult. Go planet Earth, put my groceries in here, please. You bust this out, it's like it took no space in the main compartment of your bag, and it gives you extra carrying capacity when you need it. It's just a tote that you just leave by the door. It's not like 10x better than a market tote that would have cost 5 USD or 10 USD, but it is 2x better. And it's gonna come with a lifetime warranty. It's got cool colors and it's got a really nice feel to it. So if you just like the finer things in life, I think it's worth a little bit more of an investment because Peak Design, they don't fuck around when it comes to bags. They make some really high quality stuff. They're actually, oh my God, they're from San Francisco as well. It's 4 San Francisco brand bags in a row. That was not intentional. But they do things their own way. They're a little bit more on the funky side, a little bit more on the futuristic, risk-taking side. But this is probably one of their more muted products. Comes in 6 color options. It's 12 liters in capacity, and it's only 30 bucks. Again, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg on a tote if you need a tote that serves a basic function. And it's funny, this is actually one of my favorite products of all time, and I haven't reviewed it yet, but if we get enough requests, we definitely will review it. So if you want to see a full Nomads Nation Peak Design Packable tote review, let me know in the comments below, and we will oblige if we get enough requests. Now, I feel like throughout this entire video, I tried with each individual tote to just kind of explain their unique selling points, right? Like, hey, if you're looking for a gym tote, you're gonna go with Aer. If you're looking for a packable tote, Peak Design. If you like a little more of a heritage aesthetic, WaterField, right? So we tried to give a fair mix to make it easier for you to find which one you like most. But if you're still not 100% certain, let me give you my top 2 favorites. Well, actually, first of all, shout out again to Ogio. They did partner with us in this video, so we appreciate them helping to support the channel. If you're looking for a tote that's got that urban, tactical sort of aesthetic with killer side water bottle holders, but you also like a little bit of softness with the design in terms of the fabric and the color selection, the Ogio Rise Everyday Tote, it's a great option. But on to my 2 personal favorites. I'm taking the Peak Design tote out of this because I only wanted to throw that in there because I think there's a world of packable totes that some people weren't aware of. So I just kind of threw that out there for some discovery reasons. But I think for most people on this list, you're gonna be looking for a tote that's a little bit more structured, we can say, a little bit more totier. So I think if you're on a bit of a budget, the Alpaka Elements tote is the way to go. It gives you a bit of structure. It gets you into the entry level of the world of awesome tote bags, high vis interior, plenty of internal pockets, gives you a little bit of foldability. Ah, you hear those magnets? That is so satisfying. And it's like 65 USD. But if you got a bit more of a budget and you want something that feels and performs exceptionally well, I think the Bellroy Tokyo tote is gonna be hard to beat. It's become a little bit iconic in the carry community in terms of like a tote bag recommendation. It's got that beautiful interior, very accessible, large, awesome pockets, tablet sleeve, plus the grip on the handles, and just the overall aesthetic, it makes it a very difficult tote to beat. If you wanna learn more about these 2 totes, you can do so by watching these videos right here. If you got any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.